work for.
Call this meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for the record. Mayor Lindsay.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Craig.
Here.
Councilor Howe.
Here.
Councilor Weeks.
Here.
And Councilor Curry.
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
Okay, and ask for a motion to approve the,
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
We could please get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have we had anybody sign in for requests and responses from the audience? We'll move on to announcements and proclamations by council. Anything to report this evening? Okay, moving into director reports. First up this evening is our Parks and Rec Director, Shay Tillish.
Good evening. Just going to give you a quick update on what's going on in the Parks and Rec Department. The softball tournament on the 27th and 28th of June, there was probably 200 plus people there, and it went really well. It was just really windy, like really bad, but it went pretty good. Everybody toughed it out. The next 2-day tournament we have is the 25th and the 26th of this month. And then we had Trash to Treasures, and that was another big event, and it was a success from what I've been told. There was a line like around the building at 7:30 in the morning before it even opened that very first day, and they get out of there so quick. It takes them 2 weeks to set up, and they're out of there clean in a few hours. It's kind of crazy. The survey is getting done for the Allen Fields for the trail placement and skate park. That's I'm not sure when it's gonna be done, within the next couple of weeks, I believe. The lights for the RFP for the lights closes on July 29th. So we'll go from there, and hopefully we'll get some good bids in. I have a family reunion this weekend at the community center. It's a 2.5-day event, so we'll have people up there till about midnight on Friday and Saturday. And all that we've got going on right now is a lot of pickleball wars in the community center because the resort doesn't have their stuff open yet. So it's kind of crazy up there with pickleball. But other than that, that's really all I have. If you have any questions.
Tillish?
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Okay, up next, our Public Works Director, Kurt Epler.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Rick Strickland, Manager Weir. We have working scales at solid waste as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. Guarantees by 8 o'clock tomorrow, as of 3:30 this afternoon. One of the things we were finally able to get everything working today. One of the challenges today was getting all of the charge accounts where we get to issue people their numbers to be able to charge. So essentially what will happen, you go in and get your inbound weight, go in and dump. Your ticket is calculated at the second kiosk, which is your outbound lane, and you'll be able to enter an account number and it'll be charged to your account. So we shall see. Any questions in regards to, I'm sorry, shouldn't make a joke of it, but it's been a long time coming, over 13 months since we issued the PO for the work. Hopefully the support after with this will be a little better than it has been going into it. I will say the company, as many do, experience a big turnover in people and crossing things up. Don't want to make excuses for them, but we do need to do business with them moving forward. Hope it goes well. Quick report on streets. Obviously, we got a great blessing of some moisture this afternoon. We really need it to continue. I do have a potential applicant for a water truck driver. We've gone better than 2 weeks now without one, and you definitely see the results of it. Very aware of the challenge with dust that citizens have had to deal with, and I sincerely apologize I do want to let council know that did find an opportunity to try a dust control product that doesn't cost $1 million to do a trial basis. And I intend to test this project on Valle Grande North, okay? I know it doesn't have the curves and everything like El Camino Real does, but I wanna, test a very heavily trafficked road, a road with heavy traffic, but I'm also concerned that a dust treatment on a road that has a lot of turns and so forth and so on can actually come apart worse. So what I'm looking at doing would be Valle Grande North up to Villa del Rey, and ordered enough material to do a trial basis on a couple of turns on El Camino Real, and we'll see how it goes. And we'll just see. And as opposed to it being a magnesium chloride, which, funny enough, as a dust control product, does not work well in dry climates, okay? But it's a polymer product, and we gotta try something, folks, and this one, what I like about it is we can try a pretty fair amount of it, and like I said, we don't have to do $1 million trial on it. So we'll see how it works. Any questions in regards to streets?
How's this new product applied?
With a water truck.
It is,
It dilutes within the water truck.
and it's safe to put in, like, I know we've had issues in the past with seals and so on.
Yeah. Yes, it is, but there's also a certain amount of care that's required after you use it in the water truck in the way of flushing. You can't leave this material in the truck over the winter. And you definitely, well, you never can leave water in a water truck in the winter where it's gonna freeze and break. But yeah, this, with the type of pump that's on our trucks, there's really no rubber parts, if you will, so we'll see. But I feel that we've gotta try something,
Yeah.
for sure.
What's it called?
Yet, the company that we get it from is Western. They're out of Santa Monica, California, of all places. Or, never thought it was very dusty in Santa Monica, California, but you never know. So anyway, we'll see how it works, I'll keep you posted. We're probably a couple weeks out before we're ready to start applying that, but I'll keep you informed. Water department has had a significant number of challenges lately. Particularly since the last week of June, we've had a pretty, kind of a little explosion in water leaks. Most of them relatively small. We've also had some water issues that coincide with the power issues that Kit Carson has been dealing with. I will say we're kind of throwing a theory out there that since the series of earthquakes happened just north of us, both us and Kit Carson have experienced some strange outages and breakages all throughout the community. Don't know if it has anything to do with it, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it, okay? There were some with the power issues, there were some challenges out at the wastewater treatment plant. Today it appears we have it resolved, our water's starting to clear up and everything's going well there. So, any questions?
That's right.
Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Next up is our finance director, Mr. Adrian McDonald.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Ware, and the clerk. I will start by saying that fiscal year 26 ended on June 30th. We did $28.1 million of activity against $28.1 million of authority. This is a good thing. It means we had no funds that were over budget. We currently have 0 open encumbrances attached to fiscal year 26. We earned revenues of $21.7 million. Right now, we also have about $1.8 million of IOUs out there. The airport currently has one for $637,000. Workforce housing has one for $500,000. And then $665,000 for other capital projects.
Just explain what you mean by.
Oh, yes, sir. So, in order for them to do operations, they needed money. And so basically what we do is we do what we call a do to, do from action. And so we transfer money into those enterprises so that they can handle business, and then as they earn the money back, or if they receive money through grants, reimbursement type programs, then when the money's brought back in, then it gets transferred back into the general fund. So. All right, any questions on?
That's pretty normal procedure.
Yes, sir.
Especially with reimbursement grants.
Yeah, there's nothing abnormal about it, and we expect that we're gonna start to see payback happening this fiscal year. So, revenue trend that's worth noting, and this is something that Director Ralph has kind of talked about before, lodger's tax is down for a fourth straight year. And we're also seeing an inversion in the relationship where, although summer strength is real, and it's been helping to kind of offset the weaker winters, winter is still the larger engine. So crossing our fingers that we can get some snow and start to get that revenue back up. Our FY27 budget does use conservative revenue assumptions though. So until we actually see the snow, we're planning on having more of the same. So we're gonna monitor monthly, and the bars that we're constantly bringing to you, those give us mid-year flexibility. So if we do start to see revenues come up, we can adjust the budget for that. Our expenses are going up. We have received lots of grant money, so that's a part of it. Payroll's still, though, it's our largest investment that we have here. So, and it's a part of our growing expenses. We've historically had a lot of open positions here in the village, and at this point, we're essentially fully staffed. On top of that, one of the most enticing reasons to come work for the village is because we've got a fantastic retirement program. It's pretty unique, but it's an expensive program. So we went from doing 50% matching to 75% matching. So when you take that and you put it together with the fact that we used to average around 60 FTE full-time employees, to now we're just under 100 on average. Between the increase in the employees and the fact that we're doing a larger match against the retirements, it's a significant cost to the village. Just to give you an idea about what that looks like, salary and benefits jumped. Excuse me. Salary and benefits jumped from $4.5 million in fiscal year 23 to $8.6 million last year. So, and no doubt it'll continue to increase as the cost of benefits incline, and also pay raises are implemented. So, what's ahead for finance? Audit field work is what's coming next for us. So, last year the auditors were here in October. It's my understanding they generally come between September and October. So that's what we're anticipating again this year. So we're in full swing right now with our post-closeout operations and pre-audit mode. That is what's going on in our world. Since the last time we've met, finance has gone from 9 people to 6, so we've lost a third of our staff. The impacted positions are customer service, payroll, vendor pay, departmental training, and audit readiness. Short term, we've passed the workload to remaining staff, and recruiting is underway. Here very shortly, you're going to be seeing the fiscal year 27 budget. It's going to be resolution 2026-57. It's the final budget as submitted to DFA. It does not include an appropriation for OpenGov ERP since that has not been approved yet. So, old business item A is not a part of that budget. When that does eventually get looked at, if it's approved, we would incorporate that through the BAR process. So it won't be in the numbers being discussed tonight. So, and the BAR is the standard path. Any questions? That's all I have for you.
Thank you, sir. Finally, in our director reports is our tourism director, Greg.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Ware, Clerk Strickland. Today I'm just going to recap the results of our ad campaign that we launched in late April, ran through mid-June. We spent about $65,000 in media over that time period. In that time period, we received 3.38 million impressions. It's what we bought in advertising. It was a combination of television with the streaming television, billboards, digital display, social media. Those were our channels that we used. We delivered 3.38 million impressions. During that time period, we also achieved 3,700 bookings through our website, Average length of stay, 2.7 nights. Average daily rate of $312. So direct revenue off of bookings through our website to that campaign was almost $130,000, $129,934. We also got about 8,500 responses for intent to attend our events, balloons, and 4th of July and Credence. And those events did show good attendance this year. Some of the observations we saw a dramatic increase in demand that continues to, over the campaign, efficiency, the cost of booking has dropped. Our television ads, basically every ad we do on a booking that refers off that is about $35 a booking. Social media is about $7 a booking. But the cost, the impressions that they make are beyond what the ads deliver. It's more than just the direct bookings that come off those ads. There's other things we increase in, and I'll go into those in a second. Our Google cost per booking referral came down in June to about $7, $8 a piece from $16 in May. So basically, since we've started advertising as Visit Angel Fire, that's our lowest cost per booking that we've seen is this summer. So we're getting some efficiency. So our basic cost of booking is about $12.14 at this point. So that's very efficient for us. Google, our search, people punching in Angel Fire, just looking for basic information. We saw 33,500 unique users, up 25% in June. Our event page views were viewed by 31% more people than they were the same time period last year. Our biggest pages were the things to do pages and the getaway messaging that we put out. So a lot of it's the fact that we're marketing in hot areas. We're spending our money in New Mexico, Albuquerque, Dallas, Fort Worth, and hotter areas. So they're coming here, they're looking for that cool getaway. So the getaway is working. During the time period, Visit Angel Fire received 3 million page visits in June. That's unique visitors to our website in the month of June alone. That's 45% up over last year. I wish I could say they were all human beings. About 1.5 million of those 3 million were humans. The other ones were bots, scrubbing, looking for information, and AI. AI is very active going on to websites right now, looking for information to build their content for their searches. As AI goes in our site and scrubs it, we are constantly updating it. We're putting in new blogs, new event information. It's not stagnant. Our site is being hit by the bots and the AI scrubbing tools, constantly looking for that new content. So what that hopefully makes for in the future is more AI content on the internet. When people are searching for things, Angel Fire is one of the things that pops up. The place that AI is still getting information is our website. So our website is still very important. Building that out with content, images, constantly changing it has been one of our keys to success to driving the traffic. If we continue this traffic, we should see continued bookings throughout the rest of the summer at the current pace. Any questions for me? Yes.
How would you say we are comparing to Colorado right now?
We're not, Colorado mountain destinations, I do get a report, it's called Destimetrics. It looks at the major resorts in Colorado, Utah, Jackson, Wyoming, some in California. Most mountain town communities are down. Bookings were down this summer, looking forward about 20%. I haven't got a report on how late June, early July has gone. Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, do we have any committee reports this evening?
I have a couple of things on committee reports. First of all, I want to start with Firewise Committee. All of you have seen it, but Firewise Committee has been working for some time to get formal adoption. Our application has been processed and accepted. So I'd like to thank all the current and past committee members for their hard work, as well as Chief Vance and all of his staff that have been moving that ball forward a little at a time, so we're finally there. There's still some more committee meetings to go, but we have officially gotten through the adoption of Firewise process, so thank you all for those that have put time into those efforts. It's been well worth it. And then secondly, on committee reports, just as a kind of an informational, there will be a P&Z meeting next week. There will be a special meeting. P&Z recently reviewed the comprehensive plan and had a very favorable approach to that. The one thing they did ask that Manager Weir and his staff did accomplish was, let's go ahead and publish the comp plan on the website. It has been up there for public comment. I don't know that we've received any comments, but at this point, that was P&Z's only ask, was to give the public one more chance to talk about this before it becomes part of this body's agenda, which I expect after next week will be on our next regular business agenda here.
Mr. Mayor, the hospital district and the PID both met this month. Both of them are routine business right now. So we're looking forward to future meetings. And Lenny is here to talk about the roads committee, if you could come up and do that.
Sure.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. This is kind of my first attempt to fill you in on where we are standing with roads and infrastructure. It's been a long spring for us. There's such a learning curve that we need with our members. We've got awesome people in our committee, civil engineers, we've got road people, we've got a good committee, but it's really hard to educate ourselves on the way Angel Fire was structured in the beginning and all the issues that could happen here, the water leaks, sewer, everything. It's just kind of overwhelming. And finally, we had a meeting with Brett this last week, and he kind of assured me, because I'm a little nervous because we don't really have something to bring to you. You know, like a project that we could say, we can get it financed, this is a good project, and we want to put it on your desk. We are not at that level because, for one, we've got a lot of education with funding. Julie came in and she really helped us with how grants work and how that's all situated, because it's important for us to do our job as a committee to try to put things together without knowing that. Because we could be working on a project that needs to be on a 5-year grant to where we need something quicker. We know the go bonds, we know a lot about the funding, and that was important for us to understand that. So with our meeting we had last week with Brett really assured us to just not worry so much about being pressured on getting a project in front of you and get something on your desk and not be prepared yet, because we're not really prepared. We've got such a broad area. Roads alone is unbelievable. And then you put water, sewer, solid waste, and you put all those on our plate too. And for us to educate ourselves to, let's say, okay, we're gonna work on solid waste. We need to understand solid waste, and we need to know the criteria for solid waste to find out what needs help there. Then we can put together that project and present it to you. Water's another one that's so broad, between PRBs and pumps and tank leaks and just everything that goes on with water is really kind of overwhelming. And I know we've really put a lot of pressure on Kurt to try to help us educate ourselves to where we understand everything better, to where we can make good decisions and have good discussions. Here this last spring, we've been really kind of going in circles because there's so much there. So we can look at something and say, well, first we thought, well, maybe we need priority list. Well, we learned that priority is really not yet. We need criteria, and we need to itemize it down to where we know exactly what we're targeting. Like roads. roads, you can't fix the top of it unless you know what's underneath it. Because if the infrastructure's bad underneath the road, you can't just waste a bunch of time figuring out a way to put a top on it. You gotta figure out all of it. And it's been really hard on Kurt, because Kurt's overwhelmed anyhow, and then it's hard for him because he wants us as a committee to advise him, but we really need him for the information to know what we're dealing with. And it's coming, we're getting a lot better, we've got some things that we wanna do. We're gonna target, the community and do maybe some surveys and get some input from community, or from the community on everything we do. Roads, we could fill the place, you know, and we don't really wanna, we gotta be gentle with it. And when we structure this survey, we're thinking maybe put a survey together to where it be a multiple choice of four answers, instead of just opening up a can of worms to where it could take all night on one subject. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna be gentle with that, but we wanna get more input from the public and find out what their issues are. Because if we can hear their issues, it'll help us decide what we need to move up and really concentrate on trying to get them taken care of. Arterial roads and common roads, and there's so many things. But tonight, I just really wanted to speak with you guys, let you know that we're there, and we're there for you, and we're gonna do everything in our power to structure projects for you that are within budget, within your agreement, and maybe help you guys make Empire a better place. And it's not easy, because we're dealing with so much. And all I wanted to do is let you know that we are on your side, and we're gonna do everything in our power to try to put together some good things for you. Thank you for the time. Brad?
Mr. Mayor, Council, yeah, there's one point I disagree with in that, Lenny, and I think Kurt's having fun.
I'm sure he's probably ready to go.
But I can assure you all, I'm not overwhelmed. Maybe a little understaffed at the moment.
Yes.
I'm not overwhelmed.
Yes.
But it is a huge undertaking, and yeah, all the help and support, so we really appreciate you and the rest of the committee for stepping up.
Okay.
And we understand there's a lot to just get your mind around before you can even start making informed decisions, so.
Right. And I know it's a work in progress. And thank you all.
All right, thank you, sir.
You can't quit.
Any other committee reports this evening? If not, we'll move into old business. Item A, I'd like to open discussion to approve an increase in the financial budget by $241,500 in FY '27, so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Encode. I would just add that nothing has changed since the last time this item came before us, and I would recommend tabling it, hoping that we can resolve this issue at the next regular council meeting. Any other discussion? If not, ask for a motion.
Make a motion to table item A under old business, approve increase of the fiscal budget by $241,500 in fiscal year '27, so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Encode.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item A, old business. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Councilor Huff,
Aye.
Councilor Weeks,
Aye.
and Councilor Kurt.
Aye.
Motion to table passed.
Thank you. Moving into new business, item A, public hearing will now open. The Village of Angel Fire will present the following to the public. Conditional use permit for Monteverdi RV Park to remain an RV park, but with new ownership located at 3521 Mountain View Boulevard. Conditional use permit for Monteverdi RV Park is now open for public comment. Conditional use permit for Monteverdi RV Park is now closed for public comment. Item 2, adoption of the FY 2026-2027 budget. 2026-2027 budget is now open for public comment. Adoption of the FY 2026-2027 budget is now closed for public comment. Moving to item B, open discussion to approve resolution 2026-54, conditional use permit for RV park located at 3521 Mountain View Boulevard. Doesn't look like Santos.
Late change, substitution, I guess. Good evening, my name is Mark Snish. I'm the new Planning and Zoning Director for the Village of Angel Fire. We've received a conditional use permit application for Monteverde RV Park. The property is zoned C1 and C2. Both of those require a conditional use permit to operate as an RV park. Up to this point, the property has been allowed to operate as an RV park because it has done so without a change of ownership since the property was annexed in 1997. That only applied up until a change of ownership, and right now there is a pending sale on the property. The prospective new owners have expressed their intent to continue to operate as an RV park without any major alterations to operations or infrastructure. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the application and voted in favor of granting the conditional use permit. I agree with their decision, and I recommend moving forward with resolution 2026-54 to allow the new owners to continue to operate the property as an RV park. Does anybody have any questions?
Question or discussion? Thank you, Mark. I'd ask for a motion on item B.
I make a motion on item B to approve resolution 2026-54, conditional use permit for RV park located at 3521 Mountain View Boulevard.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, item C, I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-57, adoption and approval of the FY 2026-2027 budget. Director Dong.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Council. If you recall, we had a budget meeting where all the chiefs and directors came up and they presented. It was a public viewing. At this point, we request approval of 2026-57, adopting the FY 27 budget exactly as submitted to DFA through LGBMS, which is the state's, it's local government business management system. It's the way the state reports our budget. And the budget presented to the public on 6/25. Approval as filed keeps certification on schedule.
Any questions or discussion? Now I'd ask for a motion on item C.
Make a motion on item C to approve resolution 2026-57, adoption and approval of the fiscal year 26-27 budget.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item C. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item D, I'd like to open discussion to approve Deputy Clerk Christopher Bechtel to take the oath of office. Any questions or comments?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, and Manager Weir. As you all are aware, the acting deputy clerk, Rocky Lira, he is now working virtually, so he's not here in-house. My duties have expanded. I'm getting to the point to where I do need that backup help, and Christopher Bechtel is willing to fill the void. And I would request that I'd be able to do the motion and votes here before the swearing in, if possible. And I'll stand for any questions.
If not, I'd ask for a motion.
I make a motion on item D to approve Deputy Clerk Christopher Bechtel to take the oath of office.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item D. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed. And Chris, you can come on up. Let's see. And may I have you raise your right hand and repeat after me, okay? I, Christopher Bechtel,
I, Christopher Bechtel,
Deputy Clerk of the Village of Angel Fire,
Deputy Clerk of the Village of Angel Fire,
Colfax County, State of New Mexico,
Colfax County, State of New Mexico,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico,
the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico,
and the laws of the Village of Angel Fire,
and the laws of the Village of Angel Fire,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of Deputy Clerk
discharge the duties of Deputy Clerk
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Wonderful. Let me have you sign here. And then I'm gonna have you do two for your records and infirmary. And then you'll need a witness to sign. Do you know who you would like to sign?
Adrian, come on now.
Adrian, if you don't mind. Do you have a pen or do you need it? Start signing. Thank you, congratulations.
Okay, moving on to item 8. I'd like to open discussion to approve fortified structures, J&H proposal. Lawrence Davis.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Manager, and Clerk. Thanks for looking at our proposal today. We really appreciate that. We're looking for an approval. This proposal came from a company called Fortified Structures. It's in Roswell. Jim Mitchell is the owner, and it's going to result in a CES contract. I tried to get a contract for tonight to go along with this, but I wasn't able to get one, so we'll bring that as soon as we get it. This company has got quite a bit of business up here. You may have seen some of what they've done. They're over in Red River right now, and also doing some stuff at Philmont with some of the housing, and they've already done some teacher housing up in Des Moines. So they've been fairly busy around the area. The proposal is for $1.2 million, and you notice there's a $93,000 contingency that goes along with it, and we promised that they're not going to charge us that contingency if they don't need to. So we're getting a really good support from Jim Mitchell on this whole project. He wants to turn it into what he called a showcase, which made me feel good, and so I'm looking forward to that. Excluded items that you see on the last page, I was going to discuss them real briefly. They do not include electrical service and installation, and so I talked to an electrical engineer from Espanola today, Preston Torres, came out and visited us, and he's given me a pretty good number for doing the electrical design. Foster's agreed to do our installation. We had a promise for a backup generator from Sunbelt, but we haven't been given any more information whether that's ever going to happen or not. The well drilling situation, I have talked to Kathleen Berenson over at Cimarron with the OSC office over there. She talked to her boss, and she is going to allow us to do a domestic, called a multi domestic well for this initial phase. And you may notice we only get 2 cabins out of this initial phase, so we spend most of this money on infrastructure. So that's going to, the actual well drilling situation is going to have to improve when we get to a phase 2 situation. We don't know, of course, yet when that's going to be. We hope next year. So all of that well estimate could easily change by then. The metal roofs, I talked to Highway 64 Metal Roofing over in Taos, and they can cover our metal roof if we want to get the metal roofs, and we haven't decided on that quite yet, but I'm still negotiating with them. The handicap parking situation, the fact that it's excluded, we're not getting ADA cabins yet anyway, so that's not really much of an effect. There is one item that's not on this list, and the GRT is not included, and that's done according to the state rules for a municipality. So, any questions on anything?
I had a question on the sewer infrastructure. So how many cabins are you intending to put here in the
Yes, sorry.
grand scheme?
Ultimately, we want 12 cabins, so we're getting 2 now, we'll get 10 more cabins, and we're putting up about a 50 by 100 support building with classrooms, kitchen, laundry, bathrooms, and that will be a big part of that.
And so this cost for this initial infrastructure is gonna be for most of the development?
Yes, this infrastructure cost should enable us to put everything, once we get the second round of funding, we'll be able to install all the buildings right away. So this sewer covers all of that, and so does the water. Well, the water doesn't cover all of that because of the possibly gonna have to put the chlorine tank in and some other situations with the water. And I'm trying, and we do have some extra money that's on top of this on our own account to cover the electric so that I can do that all at once as well. So yes, that's our goal.
Explain exactly what we're doing. Can you explain what we're doing?
Yeah, so this is, I'm sorry,
Manager Ware.
council, because these funds are appropriated funds to the Village of Angel Fire on behalf of this project. They're required to follow our procurement policies as well as state procurement policies. We have a policy that says anything over $60,000 that hasn't previously been approved by council must be approved by council. Most of our expenditures are approved within the budget, but occasionally we have new expenditures that weren't in the budget that are over 60,000 and have to be approved by council. This is one of those expenditures. The expenditures itself were not in our budget, and it's over 60,000, so it has to be approved by council before they can proceed with acquisition. They'll have to go through the PO process and everything. We actually receive the funds, we make the payments on behalf of Veterans Wellness, and we have a committee from Veterans Wellness that's designed to advise the council on any ongoings that are occurring with Veterans Wellness.
So we're just a conduit for the.
We're a conduit, that's correct, but they still have to follow our policies.
We received 1.226 million grant from the state legislators. There's probably a name for that.
It's technically an appropriation, but.
So if they would only give it to a government organization, so we partnered with the village, and that's really helped us out a lot. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever, before you came on, but they deeded their land over to the village. Yeah,
Okay, so that was part of the process.
We actually own the land.
They own, yeah, village owns the land, and we're leased back for 20 years.
Okay.
And so we're clearing everything through the village before we do any activities. And so the next move we'll need to get is the contract, and we want to get started. We'd like to have the 2 cabins up by winter, we hope. And we plan on, if you are not aware, but right now we do 5 retreats a year for PTS suffering veterans. Very successful, started by Councilor Chuck, and we've been doing, I think we're on number 60, correct? Our next retreat's number 60, so we've been doing this a long time. Our board, a couple of them here tonight, Marcus and where Kathy is here, so they're the ones that teach these retreats. It's very, very incredibly good. So lots of success there. We're also going to add with the cabins what we call respite care, and that way veterans can come and spend some time for vacations. We hope to cut the price down to where they can afford it, and while they're here, give them some of the same care that we give during the week-long retreats. So be able to focus and give them year-round kinds of care. Right now, we're stuck. We rent condo system over there in Red River, and it costs quite a bit. So if we can get that cost down, we can spread this out throughout the year and do a lot more good work for our veterans.
No, it's an awesome project.
It really is. So appreciate all your help.
I have a question. Well, does it necessarily have to come back once it's actually in contract form? I mean, this is initial pricing, but it's not an actual executable contract here.
The contract will have to come back to council once it's prepared, but it didn't make sense to prepare it
Sure.
without the approval from the quote. So it will come back for approval and signature. This is a CES vendor though, so they have statewide pricing, so you don't have to go through RFP.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'd ask for a motion on item B.
I make a motion on item E to approve fortified structures JH proposal.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item E. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you very much. You can't tell how much we appreciate this. We've been working on this for 4 years or more, and so really good to move along. Thank you.
It's exciting, thank you. Okay, I'd like to open item F for discussion, that's to approve resolution 2026-52, participation in local government program by the NMDOT. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administrator Weir, and Clerk Strickland. Before you, you have a resolution to accept the grant agreement for, it's a co-op funds, local government road funds. The total project amount is $80,000. We're receiving $60,000 from the state. There is a $20,000 match requirement. You will see the next resolution I have is a match waiver request. So right now I'm asking for approval to accept this grant agreement to enter into with NMDOT. And I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Comments? If not, I'd ask for a motion on item F.
I make a motion on item F to approve resolution 2026-52, participation in local government road fund program by NMDOT.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item G, open for discussion to approve resolution 2026-53, participation in local government road fund program, and request for match waiver. Ms. Quinn.
Thank you, Mayor. This request, once again, is for a match waiver of $20,000 for this local government road fund. Within the last 2 years, our GRTs have been down and diminished due to, I'm gonna blame the lack of snow. So it will make us look more, hopefully more favorable that we have like maybe $2 million in cash, available cash balance rather than $7 million in available cash balance, because then they think you can pay for it. So I am requesting a match waiver for the co-op program. I won't find out about the TPF program until mid-August, but I'll be asking for a match waiver for that program also. And I'll stand for any questions.
No questions or comments, I'd ask for a motion on item G.
Make a motion on item G to approve resolution 2026-53, participation in local government road funds program and request for match waiver.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item G. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item H, I'd like to open for discussion to approve resolution 2026-55, grant for workforce housing project, total of 30 homes, providing water and wastewater service at no less than the cost of such service. Manager Weir.
Yes, Mayor, Council, there are a couple of things that are actually accomplished in this resolution. Prior to this resolution, we actually had 2 separate resolutions that designated portions of the fees that we were allowed to charge for workforce housing. We consolidated those 2 resolutions into this resolution. In addition, because we are including water and sewer service in the fees, the rental fees, in order to make sure, even though there is an exclusion for workforce housing from anti-donation. We were advised by legal counsel to include that language in the resolution just to make sure that we were compliant with anti-donation and we weren't just giving away our water and our sewer services. So the fees, we basically consolidated from 2 resolutions into one, and we included the language recommended by legal counsel to assure we were in compliance with anti-donation.
Questions or comments? If not, I would ask for a motion on item H.
Make a motion on item H to approve resolution 2026-55, rent for workforce housing project and providing water and wastewater service at no less than the cost of such service.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item H. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, item I. Go open for discussion to approve resolution 2026-56, that's various budget adjustments requests. Director Rendon.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Council. This is just more bars. This one's a little bit different because it's got 2 fiscal years inside of it. So between the 7 bars, I've grouped them up into 2 different variants. So you've got FY26 closeout items that are truing last year to actuals, and you've got FY27 items that are carrying committed work forward. So just a little more explanation on that. For FY26, you have 2 dormant legacy fund closures. So Fund 510 and Fund 704, they're just dormant funds that aren't being used, and we had a few dollars that are sitting around, well, that's few. We had 133 sitting in one account, and 6,700 sitting in the other. And so those accounts aren't being used, so they're being shut down. We also had 2 GO bond debt service revenue increases totaling $52,506. Property tax collections beat the budget projections, so that's good news. FY27 is what we call an encumbrance rollover. So there's commitments that the village had on June 30th that hadn't been brought to resolution yet. And so that money is not inside of the FY27 budget. So what this bar allows them to do is move that money forward. It basically pluses it up so that those old commitments, it's a timing issue, and you don't want that to, you don't want to penalize the new budget for the old expenses that are coming due. Stand for any questions.
Questions or comments? I'd ask for a motion on item I.
Make a motion on item I approving resolution 2026-56, various budget adjustment requests.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item I. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, moving on to item J. Go over discussion to approve actual reimbursement expenses for purchase field supplies on personal credit card for Angelo Ledoux. Chief Vance.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. Well out of the last 14-day deployment, Angelo Ledoux ran out of DEF fluid at his last fill-up on the vehicle, so not to risk danger to the vehicle or risk to the vehicle, he broke out his personal credit card and bought some DEF fluid and filled the truck up and drove home. So we'd like to reimburse him for that expense.
Any questions or comments? I'll ask for a motion on item J.
Make a motion on item J, approve actual reimbursement expenses for purchased field supplies on a personal credit card for Angelo Ledoux.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item J. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Chief.
Thank you.
This evening, our manager's report, Manager Weir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, council. I don't have a lot to report today. I will tell you that we're anticipating the police force to be fully staffed within the next 3 weeks. We've had some very good applicants and interviews. We've already made an offer to one who immediately accepted it. And we anticipate by next Monday making an offer to fill the only other open position. We do have a few positions open, a few in the fire department and in other locations, but in finance as well. But we have we've made some progress. I would like to commend both Director Rendon and Director Epler because they have been willing to tighten their belts when it comes to staffing, in recognition of the tough winter that we had. And they're working with us to, both of them, to combine positions where we can in order to save funds for the village. So again, I want to thank them both for working with the village on that. Otherwise, everything is coming along well. We, like Director Epler said, we did need the rain. We were struggling with some of our road projects and timings. Also, workforce housing should be caught up here soon, if not tomorrow or today. I can't remember what he told me. But workforce housing should be caught up. I will tell you the workforce houses, the next 7, went into production today. So they should be being shipped out here within the next few weeks. And so everything else is going well.
Yep. We had a great 4th of July.
4th of July, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, the 4th of July was small, I'm sorry, I failed to recognize that. It was the most attended 4th of July in my history with the village.
It was
Not
attended summer event
yeah,
ever.
but I can't think of anything that was that big. I mean, 3,600 people inside the fence, and there's at least another approximately 2,000 people watching the drone show outside the fence. If you looked and saw the cars that the officers were really overwhelmed with and couldn't run off, that were parked on 434 and on North Angel Fire Boulevard and all over the place, watching that drone event. The band was phenomenal. And we did learn a lesson. We took away at least one lesson from that event, and that's never to underestimate the power of our marketing and make sure you have enough porta potties to accommodate it. But otherwise, everything went off without a hitch, and it was a great event, and our tourism department deserves a lot of accolades and help from other departments as well, getting that set up. Thank you.
All right, well, with that, this meeting is adjourned.